Welcome back, people. This is No Decorum. I'm AJ.
I'm Daniel.
And today we have a friend of the show.
Very special guest.
Very special guest. And we're going to be talking about foreign policy.
Right. All right,
and so, Omar, let's introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background and what brought you here and things like that. So,
all right. My name is Ma Anyanso Ma. Okay, I was born and I grew up in Nigeria, and I've been in the United States since 2016, and it's been fun here.
Okay. So, what have you observed about the U.S. that you'd like to share with us? Any interesting observations, or in any respect?
Yeah. One interesting thing is I was a little surprised about what they call lobbying.
Ooh.
That's what we call corruption in our country.
Well, it is legalized corruption here, so.
I was a little surprised it's legal here, where companies pay money to Congress or the Senate to influence policies.
Yes.
And it's called lobbying.
That's right. Wow.
So that's very interesting.
That's unfortunate that
this is what we call word jargon. That's what it is.
It's word jargon. Yeah, it's the bane of many people's existence, being able to influence policy on that level with that kind of money. It drowns out the other voices.
Yeah, that's
people
true.
who don't have the money.
The point is the Congress is supposed to represent the people.
Yes.
Not the corporations.
That gets lost sometimes in translation. Yeah.
True.
It's something about influence and having influence and making policy in that way.
Well, the thing is, they are representing people. It's just representing few people of their choice.
That's what I think.
Well, those people, then the people who work for them, it's
Yeah.
right? They're employees.
True.
They are representing their donors. What they call them?
The donor class. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we rail against here, is that regular people don't have a voice because special interests have such a loud megaphone to speak from.
Yeah.
And this was the reason for us to start this podcast, was give a voice to the people that don't have one. We
That's
wanted
really
to bring
nice.
on regular folks, regular people, and come and talk to us about how they feel about certain things, So, and so that was the reason for this podcast, and that's why you're here. So, and we wanted to know how people from outside see these things.
True.
So.
And we got a pretty good taste just now.
Yeah.
The lobbying.
And I think it brings the larger discontent in the public, where I see a lot of people disassociate themselves from the government.
Yeah.
So it's like us and the government. And I always go, the government is just you.
Yeah, that's the idea, right?
Mhm.
But they feel disenfranchised because of
True.
years of abuse. Basically, is what it is.
Years of abuse, yes.
Being ignored, right? Having policies enacted that don't represent you or your interest,
True.
and you don't see what you're getting from your government, from your taxes, right?
Yeah, that's
People who represent you. They don't speak for you.
No, they don't.
And yeah, that's a lot of the reason that Trump was elected this time was that reason.
That's part of the reason.
Yeah, it's part of the reason. It's not.
Yes.
Clearly, there's more to it. There are many layers, but
Many layers.
one of the reason is under the Obama administration, I think people expected more of an outreach to, I guess, your regular people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what we saw was a lot of corporate bailouts, bank bailouts. People were being, evicted from their homes. They were losing their homes, and nothing was being done to protect them from that. And meanwhile, the rich got richer, right?
Yeah, true.
I mean, people
Always.
like AIG got $78 billion bailouts, Goldman Sachs, and everyone else got left behind. And that, I think that soured a lot of people to the Obama administration. When we had a lot of high hopes, we had a lot of hope for him. When he came on the scene, we were astounded. We were taken aback by his ability to rouse people's emotions, and we thought he'd be more progressive than he was, right?
Yeah,
We all thought that.
He had me in 2004.
that speech.
I mean, in 2004 speech at the
Mm-hmm.
Democratic Convention,
Extraordinary
that
speech.
speech was the greatest speech I think I ever heard.
Really?
At least in my
Yeah.
lifetime, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was nothing quite like it.
And at that time I thought, oh, we have the wrong guy running.
Mm-hmm.
This guy should be the nominee for the president in 2004.
He would
I think he would have probably beat Bush,
pretty handy.
very easily.
Yeah. I mean, he had that mix of like intelligence and charisma and just that kind of optimism that you wanted to see, especially after Bush, after the wars and there's the chaos with Katrina, and there's this
That's true.
failure after failure. So, it was like a breath of fresh air, right?
But I guess that should be the seed of him running in 2008.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it gave us the preview that this guy was the rising star, but I just didn't think a black man could become president.
Most
Oh,
people
yeah.
didn't think that.
Not in my lifetime, at
True,
least.
true.
It proved us all wrong, thankfully, right?
Yeah, I mean, we thought the country was moving in the right direction
Yeah.
and becoming more progressive, more tolerant, and
That's
we
the goal.
could see, besides a white guy being, as a president.
Yeah.
So
But with the 2008 recession and Bush completing his second term, I think it was right for him to step up.
yeah, I
it's-
mean, it was the right time for him to run. So I mean, his calculation was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
He'd been planning for a while, at least since college, right?
Yeah,
Read his
yeah,
journals.
yeah.
He wanted to be president, so he did. He bided his time very well and took the right path and state senator, U.S. senator.
Yeah, but a lot of people think his becoming president was a major division in the country.
There was certainly a lot of discontent
Yeah.
on a certain side, certain people,
But I keep wondering why you voted for him to become president.
because we believed that he had the right
Mhm.
message. We believed it. I
Yeah.
believed. I'm sorry, I can't speak for him, but I believed that he was a more progressive candidate. I thought he would usher in a new kind of politics.
Yeah,
right?
true.
And it's just that when he got here, when he got in office, it didn't work out that way. And we expected something like maybe kind of a universal health care, or at least a public option, and that didn't happen.
I think he tried, because I think his hands were tied. I watched the hours and hours of debate on that universal healthcare.
Yeah.
They have to, they have to give in to the Republicans what they want. The bill came out not exactly how he intended it to be, but he just needed something passed.
Yeah, it needs something passed. I mean, they had a 60-vote majority in the Senate. They could have gotten at least maybe a public option, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't push hard enough, at least against, what's his name from Connecticut?
Joe Lieberman.
Joe Lieberman. He was the one vote that he didn't want it. He said he would vote
No.
against the public option. I mean, you have to be aggressive.
It was a sweeping change. So
It was.
I don't think it was really going to work that way.
Mm.
Given that even the public sentiment where people say, I'm not going to pay for someone's health care.
Yeah, that's because Republicans are very good at propaganda. The narrative that they spin is very effective. Democrats can't do that. They've never been good at that sort of thing. For whatever reason,
Yeah.
they have good ideas sometimes,
Mhm.
but they cannot sell those ideas to people. And they didn't do it. They weren't aggressive enough getting out there and trying to fight for it.
I mean, all they had to do was explain what the healthcare, how it's going to be
Mhm.
paid. Democrats just don't know how to frame their message
I agree
because
with that.
because if you have insurance, you're already getting taxed. So
Mhm.
if that money going to a private company or going to a government, it's the same thing. But they just didn't frame it, correctly. Democrats were going to get blamed as a socialist and as a
Oh, yeah.
tax and
Always.
spend people no matter what. At least explain to the people what those things are going to do. And they don't do that. And Obama failed to do that on his healthcare plan.
Yeah, I think it's a multifaceted problem where there's a disbelief, back to what we're talking about on the government. You have a bunch of people saying government can't really do anything. We don't want to task government to do anything. So when you say you take the money from private insurance companies and give it to the government, they're like, no, get the government out of my healthcare. So it's really a problem.
The people who actually have like Social Security were saying that. They already have a government.
Yeah, they already have Medicare.
Medicare,
Yeah,
which is government.
But again, that's part of the education. People just don't.
Yes, I believe so.
I
There
would
should have
have
been more education on that.
Well, I would have
Yeah.
liked to have seen Obama because of his ability to speak to people on their level, right? Because for whatever that gift is, it's a gift, right? Gone to every state, every single state, and just pounded every single senator and representative and say, look, these people are against it. Here's what this thing does for you. And just make that his first year. Just do that the first year. Just go to state every single week, and just.
I guess so.
That's what I'd like to have seen. That it's just he has the ability that other people don't have. It's a rare, whatever that skill
Also,
is.
he could have said, that we're only going to be the payment processor.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
We're not going to take over your doctors. They're not going to take over your hospitals. We're just going to process the payment for you. When you go to your doctor, you will present your card just like you present your health insurance card.
True.
The doctor will bill the government, and the government will pay them. That's all we're going to do.
It should have been it.
Yeah.
Very simple.
This is all we're going to do. We're not taking over your doctor's ability to do things that he wants to do.
They're not government doctors.
Yeah, they're not government doctors.
Don't worry. That was
They-
a big fear.
They're still going to get paid by the same hospital or same healthcare company that they're getting paid from right now.
No death panels.
Yeah, I mean, even right now, insurance companies, kind of sort of dictate what kind of service you're going to get.
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
they still do that.
That's right.
So
A lot of things were missed, obviously.
plus, you're going to have more choice because you can go to any doctor you want. Right now,
Any hospital. True.
right now,
network, out of network,
There will be nothing like that.
yeah.
I think it's one of the shocking thing I see about insurance, because back in Nigeria we just have insurance, and of course we have private insurance, we have the government insurance, which is the universal healthcare. Although it's not really functional because of corruption.
Sure.
Yeah, but we really don't have in and out of network, or we just have the premium, and that's it.
So Costa Rica is.
Yeah.
I was there, and they were talking about that as well. It's very similar.
Like deductible, I'm like, what is that?
That's a lot of people. A lot of countries ask that question. Deductible.
What's that?
Or you talk about the prices of certain procedures, and like that seems. Like
So
a
in
form of-
Nigeria, you have a public option.
Yeah, there's a public option, yes.
So people can purchase private insurance and
If
they
they
can
want to. And
they
or
want
they
to.
can be in the government option, yes.
Okay. So but everybody's covered in that public option
Everybody's covered.
automatically.
Supposed to be covered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Suppose
So
that's the
when
way
you
it
go to
works.
the doctor, they pay for it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how it's supposed to be.
There's no perfect system for sure.
Yeah,
right?
but because of corruption,
Yeah.
you don't really get it like that 100%.
Okay.
But the idea is good.
It is a good
The
idea.
idea they implemented is good, but not working as intended.
Okay.
Well, here the private insurance market isn't working as intended either. So, or maybe it is. And that's
Maybe
the
it
idea.
is.
Maybe
Yeah,
it
right.
is.
No,
That's
it's
exactly right.
Just working to make money. That's
exactly right. The profit motive.
Yeah. I mean, profit is a big motivation here.
Yeah.
it. It is.
And that's what gets in the way of so many other policies. So, yeah. Okay.
True.
So as far as that was a domestic policy anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
That was,
that's a good one. Let's jump off of
a
that.
good
Yeah.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a springboard.
That's right.
So what we discussed about earlier was we wanted to frame this thing, So how do you see the riots that happen here? How do you see them, how U.S., their foreign policy has affected other countries?
You mean the capital, U.S. Capitol, right?
Yeah, because U.S. Capitol rights.
Oh, yes.
Do you think Donald Trump brought the foreign policy at home?
Kind of inverted it. Like, oh.
I think so. It's a lot of countries look up to the US, and it just showed that US is not immune to what happens elsewhere. And is giving people the like countries like corrupt leaders of some countries, they are like referring to that. Oh, if it can happen there, so why do you have a say in my country?
Yeah.
So I watched the president of Uganda, Museveni. He's been president since 1986. So he just won the 6th election just some few
So that's
days
what
ago.
Donald Trump wanted.
Free and
Yeah.
fair elections.
Well,
We'll circle back.
questionable, questionable. So on the interview, he of course referred to what happened to the Capitol. Like, yeah, you guys, crack down on those, on the insurrection. So that's what I'm doing the same, because he had his opponent locked up in his house, deployed the military there, cut off the internet.
Yeah.
This happened January 2021.
Oh, it did. So it gave them license.
Cut off the internet. So
Yep.
So he just cut off the internet?
yes, of the whole country.
This month.
Oh, okay.
So deployed military, harassed everybody. So he
Yeah.
just won the re-election.
So if you had a mega person sitting here, what would you tell them? That the elections here are free and fair, or what would you say to that person?
Yeah, I have. I'm still struggling to understand them, why they say the election was free and fair. It was not free and fair. I mean, when all evidence point otherwise, and I think it's the narration, because it kind of explains what you see in the other country. Because I keep comparing this. You just need that one person in authority to tell you this is what it is, or tell you a black is blue, and you see a lot of people believing it's blue.
Yeah.
And that made me think that, because I keep telling people this, like Kim of North Korea, I don't think he's using iron hand to hold his people. No, he just tells them, he tells them, I'm the one to save you. I'm here. I'm saving you from America, and a whole lot of them believed him, because if he's jailing them, flogging them, punishing them to believe him, there will be kind of insurrection there. So looking at what Donald Trump did here, against common reasoning, and you say election is rigged, lost more than 60 cases in the court. His lawyers go to court and they proclaim they don't have evidence, and people still believe till date that the election was rigged. It's funny.
Well, it's a personality cult,
That's what it is.
And he primed them early on. Like he's been priming them since the inauguration.
I call it the savior mentality.
Yeah, that's what it is. And they believe they need saving from people like us, I think.
Oh yeah,
Well, this is
from the corrupt establishment.
Yeah.
maybe the Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, maybe that's Stockholm syndrome. They're identifying with their captor.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. But I like the savior analogy as well.
Yeah,
That's
the
very
savior
Yeah.
mentality. You have to create a problem or point at a problem, and tell the people you're the only one to save them.
It's exactly what he said in his inauguration.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
at the RNC, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
They
how
do.
That's how religion. That's how you build religion. You have a problem, you point at it, you point at yourself as a savior, and then you have followers.
Yeah, and he certainly
It's
does
easy.
that. Yeah, he's increased by 10 million since last time, right?
Yeah, he did that, and it's perfect. It's fine.
So compare Uganda and here. If the person that's been there since 1986, do you think something like that can happen here?
No, I don't think so. Why? Because although Americans love freedom, to me, to the point of senselessness, I don't think it will happen here. They love freedom,
Yeah, but
so they wouldn't
If-
allow one person to sit tight for a long time. Even Trump supporters wouldn't allow him to do that.
Although some have said that they want to be president for life. They've said it. They've said it on-
I've seen that,
I'm like,
but I think they're
"Oh."
joking.
I hope they're joking.
I think they're joking. They will
Oh,
soon get tired of him.
so maybe it's because they really don't know what they're asking for.
Oh, they have no
Yeah.
experience.
Or
Yeah.
because they haven't experienced what this is. So if they
Okay.
see Donald Trump for 16 years in power, they wouldn't like it. Or maybe they will like it. They might be conditioned to, that kind of thing.
It could be. It could be. If
Like the president in Uganda won his 6th election of 5 years, and a lot of people are not happy, but they are used to it.
yeah, like almost complacent. Maybe
Yes.
Yeah.
So if people are not happy, why would they keep on voting for same person? Is it rigged?
Most definitely.
Most-
Definitely.
Most definitely. It's not really free and fair because you have the internet cut off, so nobody videos and send, the images. And, you will usually see such things, ballot stuffing, running away with the ballot. The process is not really that, it's not really as clean as the US election. So, but they get by.
Okay. Are their needs met? Like, are they getting what they need to?
Like government meeting the needs of the people.
Yeah.
Some constraints here and there, but then they keep the poor people happy.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to do.
That's my point. Yeah. If that's the case, well, so be it. Right.
So when you hear people here say rigged elections, they really don't know what rigging is.
No, they don't.
So when a person says rig election, so what do you tell them? What do you say to that person?
Yeah, I've seen some stuff online, like you see someone burning papers,
Yeah.
Claiming to be ballot papers. And I ask a simple question: are you willing to stake your life on this claim? And they don't answer. Anybody can burn any paper out there. You see someone come out, make a video, say, oh, this is ballot paper for Trump, and look at them burning it.
I've seen
How
that.
do you know?
Yep. How do you know?
And I heard Trump's son retweeted that. So why? How can you? Are you willing to stand by, like, give your right arm for this information? And they go, no, I can't do that.
Well, I mean, Giuliani wasn't willing to say it was a fraud case in the court
Yeah.
case, so he obviously he wouldn't even go that far. So
And then I've seen one said, oh, like I think a week ago or so, they caught someone voted illegally or something in
Yeah.
Texas.
yeah,
So someone posted it online, and I went, okay, one person voted illegally. That's fine. That's fine. Out of 150 million people,
that's what I call massive voter fraud.
Is that massive?
According to Trump, it is massive. It's,
And he goes, there are about 5 people all over the country. Like, okay, 5 people? Is that massive fraud?
can that turn an election? Maybe, I don't know.
Can that?
And
They seem
most
to
of
think it
most of those people are mega people.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, the
So
ones
but-
they're committing and they're getting, caught are the ones, his supporters.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So it boils down to the belief that that Trump can say one thing and everybody believes it, against common reasoning.
We know people like that. Yeah, we all do, and it's baffling, right?
It is.
You cannot reason with these
I
people.
always say this is an interesting point in history to watch.
Yeah,
So
it'll be studied for sure.
Yeah,
the,
I've been
the mass
studying a lot.
hysteria, the mass mind control, or whatever, mob mentality.
So what do you think about the policy in Africa then? U.S. policies. How does Africa is being affected by U.S. policies?
Which country? Any country?
Africa as
country at all, yeah.
as a
Yes.
continent is, I think U.S. policies are pretty much the same, except for maybe Egypt.
Yeah. A little bit
Yeah.
Egypt.
I think it's some are good, some are not too good, because U.S. policies, foreign policies, are always geared towards personal or the country's interest. That's the U.S. interest first, before the other country's interest, and which doesn't really end up good,
Not benefiting the people.
Yeah, not benefiting people of the targeted country.
Mhm.
So, like,
Well, it is. It's not in U.S. interest to, benefit other people.
No.
I mean, there's no country is going to do that. They're going to look at their own interest first. Say, okay, what are we going to get out of this thing first?
True.
And if by some accident it happens to help the people, well,
yeah, they say, okay, that, we'll take that as a good, but we're not going in there to, help certain countries, basically. So what I was trying to ask is, what are these policies? I mean, what are they doing over there?
Okay, I could point out the one written by, it should be the Secretary of State in the 70s, Henry Kissinger.
Okay.
I think they call it.
He was a very nice dude. Well, I think he's still alive.
yeah,
Yeah.
watch out.
Yeah.
We'll edit that out.
Yeah.
I think it's some. I'm trying to remember the name of the policy. I think it targeted some countries. They feel that was stated as threat to the United States because of their population. So if the population of these countries, Nigeria was one of the countries. I think it's National Security Memorandum 200.
Okay.
I think, yeah. So if the population of this country, they are like growing exponentially, so it's going to be, they are going to compete with the U.S. interest in the natural resources of these countries. So there should be a way to find a way to reduce the population of these countries. So a kind of, I don't think it's a really good policy. It should be, there's a way to frame that. Could be,
well, West always wanted Africa to be poor, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
reason they want to keep them poor is because so that they can have, so they would have disease, lack of food, resources, water, clean water, and this is a way to keep the population down, and also so they can exploit those resources.
Yeah, true. So, but you could, if you want to do that, you could give them something. Let's say, for instance, educate them not to have like too many children. School. I mean, if you compare, I think that's part of the reason why US is having problem with China. But China is approaching this from a different angle. They give you loans, they build roads, houses, schools for you.
Yeah.
Just just a way to get in, and US doesn't like that. The US policy is always go in, take, if they can take it willingly, they take it by force.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that would not work now. It's really too old. So in that kind of policy, when you feel the population of a particular country is threatening your own interest, why don't you improve their standard of living first? And you have an inroad to take whatever you want. I think they willingly give it to you if you look at what China is doing.
We don't have a lot of experience doing that.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
It's a foreign concept, right?
Yeah, so I mean, they could beat China in their own game. China is doing that with their, I think, a road and belt project.
Yeah.
So give you.
I mean, our foreign policy was buried in sand in Middle East. That's what it was.
That's the extent of our outreach.
Yeah, I mean, that was. We buried our heads in last 20 years over there.
Yeah.
While China was doing all these things, so
Massive infrastructure.
If they change that, there will be less problem in the world, I believe, because once you keep taking from people, they will, at a point they will say no, and then that will be a problem.
Yeah. Then you have more conflict and.
I mean, just look at the immigration problem.
Mm-hmm.
They want to solve immigration. I mean, they can do is improve conditions in those countries.
Exactly.
I think that's one of Biden's approaches now.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, number one way to fix the immigration problem is fix the problems over there.
Over there, exactly.
And much
And
of that was
people will
caused,
stop coming.
Yeah, people will stop coming.
Much of it was caused by us. Our
Yeah.
Central American policy has always been interference and
Mm-hmm.
overthrowing regimes. And
Yeah, if the problem is fixed over there, there will be less people coming over.
I mean, no. If you ask those people do not want to come here.
It's hard leaving your own country
Of course,
to
it must be.
go to, except you really like, okay, I mean, where I'm going to will be a whole lot better than where I am now. But it's hard living where you've grown up, the people you know, the language you speak, and move to a different country. It's hard.
So you improve the material conditions of the countries, and then they'll stay and
Yeah, they will stay.
be happy.
A lot of them will stay.
So I mean, that's that's one foreign policy that can fix another policy at home.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And then you don't have to have the wall, right?
No, you don't need
Yeah.
a wall.
So
I mean,
Even the concept of borders is absurd to me. But that should be a topic of another
that's
day.
a good topic. We can look at the European model and see how that works. But that's a longer conversation. You're
Yeah,
right.
it's a long conversation.
Pin in that one for
I don't think we're gonna have time
No.
for that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a
we can't
very
get
good
in that now.
Who was that author of that? Yeah, Davos.
Yeah, that was discussed at Davos.
It was discussed. Yeah, that and
Oh, I would like to read that.
UBI also.
Yeah,
What was his name?
I can't remember that guy's name, but
Yeah, it's
UBI, Universal Basic
Yeah,
Income.
yeah,
Oh,
that was-
I see.
So he is some of those.
I mean, these
semi-ideas.
topics have discussed in places like those, but nobody talks about them.
No.
Especially the media, they buries
They
it.
clamp it down.
Yeah.
Delete it.
They're like, oh, shh.
Never
Don't
happened.
talk about
Blasphemy.
Yeah.
Like, oh no. But yeah, we have to have those discussions. They have to be had, the conversations, and it's got. I mean, the world's changing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Automation is taking jobs. There's got to be another way to move
It
forward.
have to be.
I think that's right.
So, what else?
Anything
The insurrection.
insurrection. It was a new
What
one
do I
for
think
us.
about it, right?
Of course, of course. Yeah, it took us all by surprise. It shouldn't have. It shouldn't have, right? We've just never seen anything quite like that before.
Not that I'm making an excuse for them, but I don't think that was the way Trump wanted it to turn out.
Yeah.
I think he wanted them to harass them into not certifying that their electorals vote. But how that was going to be done, I don't know.
It wasn't.
I don't know.
There is no way. I mean,
So the way the whole thing played out was shocking to him, I believe. I think he was happy when those guys marched over there. He actually told them to go,
yeah.
that he's happy with some of them and not happy with some of them. And then
He
they
wound them
went
up.
there. And I don't think they anticipated what is going to happen there. And they went in there, harassed a lot of people, and a lot of people died too.
Stole podiums,
Yeah.
I mean, they
invaded offices,
broke some windows.
Broke windows.
took the American flag down.
And there's a lot of people took pictures, posted it on the internet.
Very
They think
wise.
it's going to be like, we taking back our country.
Are you?
And after that, the narration changed. And it was because just immediately after that, Trump made a speech. He said something about him loving them. That he
we
loved
love
them.
you.
Yeah.
We love you. I heard that,
Yeah,
It's
but
just
how does that look to a person from another country? That's the thing I want to know.
Yeah, that was horrifying.
Like America. Thought they were pretty stable.
Yeah, nobody knew that was coming. And if you look at it, you have the vice president in there, you have the second in command, you have the third in command, and the fourth in command,
Yeah.
right there,
All in one place.
all in one place. They could have
Easy targets.
It was just this little before you have them tie them up and put them on camera.
They had zip ties.
They had zip ties.
That was the intent.
I mean, maybe that's what Donald Trump wanted.
I am still trying to say I don't know. I mean, why would he even do that? What do you think would be the outcome?
He has nothing to lose at this point, right? He'd already lost.
Okay, now let's say
I mean,
you have them tied.
his-
Will he declare himself president at that point?
Well, his ego was bigger than his brain. That was the problem.
Yeah.
I think so.
It always has been.
I think so.
Um,
That wasn't a good decision.
Yeah.
He's not really a long-term thinker.
He was already before January 6th, right?
Mhm.
He was preparing everybody for January 6th.
He
said
was.
we're going to have it big. It's going to be big.
It's
we're
gonna be
march.
wild.
It's going to be wild, yes.
Yeah.
So he said that. So I don't know what he was thinking. I have no idea if he thought it was
we
going to
know
be
he
that way.
wasn't thinking. I know that.
Yeah,
He's an-
that wasn't
he's an
good.
impulsive person.
Yeah.
He's angry. He's embarrassed, humiliated.
So this kind of points you to the kind of thing that happens to other countries, because that's what they do when you have people march over there. So you just command the military to take over.
Yeah.
And you declare yourself the president.
Yeah, that's right. A coup,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, it becomes a coup, complete coup.
Well,
I mean, that's what happens in other countries.
Yeah, that's how it happens in other
Yeah.
countries.
we're
So-
never involved in that stuff. No. That's completely independent of the U.S. policy. We don't. We never.
I mean,
instigate-
that's the comment that I made. I was talking to one friend of mine, and I said, "Well, we do these things all the time
Mhm.
when we don't want to believe in, certain people getting elected.
Mhm.
Just like Iran, when in the 50s they elected a democratic
Yeah.
government, and they overthrew that because we did not agree with their policies.
Mhm.
They wanted to share their oil resources among their
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Can't have that.
And we said, well, CIA said, well, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And they brought in Shah
Mm-hmm.
for 20 years. I think he was there from
Yeah, I think it was
55 to maybe
to
75, 79,
Yeah,
something
that
like
was
that.
when
So
they had
25 years.
when they had that the takeover, the hostage takeover of the U.S. embassy in Iran.
Yeah.
That's right.
So when those things happen, when there's a blowback, we all surprised how come people don't like us. Well, and that's the comment that I was making. I said, well, these are the policies that we always use, and
Mm-hmm.
the only difference is Donald Trump brought that foreign policy to home
Yeah,
in
that's
the
what it is.
South and got these people to go and do that.
The Iran, before they had that, I think they sent. I'm trying to remember his name. I think they had this. The man called Dallas was the CIA director then. So they sent someone over there to keep sowing misinformation, just like Trump was doing over here.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of misinformation about Mossadegh.
Mm.
That was the Democratic head. So he wanted the British people to leave because of their crazy practices. So to nationalize their own oil. So of course, US didn't want to get involved, but at the point when they sold them the communist idea, and they got involved. So first of all, start with misinformation, so you can have
Yeah.
people on this side, and once that is sown, and you overthrow the government, so you have people that will support the new government.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's right.
So, and then you have that for a long time, and as the myth will have it, they say the new Shah, bathed in milk, always traveling to the US. But I see the story over here is they start the story what Iran did in 1979, but it started all the way from 53.
Well,
All the way down. You held people hostage till 1979 when they attacked the U.S. embassy. But that wouldn't have happened. Maybe Iran would have been a democratic state till now. Who knows? Nobody
And
knows.
it would have been U.S.'s best friend.
Yeah, that's what.
Not-
Yes,
we would not be fighting these stupid wars right now.
There wouldn't have been this crazy war. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what happened in bringing it back home here, what happened in the capital would change everything forever. Because for the first time, you have over 2,500 National Guard at the capital in the inauguration of the president. So what's going to happen next in the next 4 years?
Yeah.
Who knows?
who knows?
Because it changes everything. Because if the capital has been attacked once,
Yeah.
Well,
knows?
people knows now that
That's
these
possible.
things can happen.
true.
Yeah. So it is possible. I mean, even though they might be more vigilant now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Expect it to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. China's influence overseas.
Yeah, we looking at the United States tell their foreign policy, closer to what the Chinese have, where you go in and you give them what they want. Just like China will say, what do you want? You want roads, you want money to build bridges or ports. And some of these countries, definitely, some of them don't pay back. And, they take over their investment and manage it for a number of years. And then that gives them a great influence.
Yeah.
And without bloodshed,
Sure.
without coup, without destruction.
Makes them
So-
a partner.
So you think Africa is moving towards Chinese or Americans? Are
I
they
think Chinese.
Chinese?
Yeah, because they have this loan that doesn't have that much interest, and it's not really hard to get, like, get it from World Bank. Because what World Bank does, I remember although I was young in the 80s, so they were to give Nigeria loans, and then they had a lot of conditions. You have to change, you have to, implement what they call austerity measure.
Mm-hmm.
And then things became so hard. There was inflation, things were so expensive, people suffered. So that is direct involvement in local economics and internal politics.
Sure.
So if you can do, like, the Chinese will give you a loan, and then if you can pay, they manage whatever it is that they gave you, and then that gives them a lot of influence. And I think the US can do that in South America, and with that, they could get what they want from there and solve the immigration problem also with that.
So what do you think the motivation is not to do that? Like, why do we not do that, in your opinion?
I think it's the American exceptionalism. Yeah, it's where they have, where they believe that they can do anything, they can get away with anything.
It's our way or the highway, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. What do you think, AJ?
I mean, I think it's because they want to get resources without paying anything.
That's kind of a theme in America, isn't it?
Yeah, I
From the
mean, it's
beginning.
because in a way they get to use their military, and having a war somewhere in the world, it's beneficial for
Defense
military
contractors.
industrial complex.
Yes.
Yeah.
That provides, it's a jobs program basically, and that keeps on the military machine rolling,
Mm-hmm.
and
And they in turn, pay the
yeah.
Congress. So it's a revolving door of money.
But
just-
then
Yeah.
it's looking at human compassion. I feel so bad for any life lost. So, and I feel it's the money budgeted for military, which is I don't know, how do they put it? It's how many times over? Like,
it's more than the next 12
the
countries
next
combined.
10 country
Yeah.
combined
Yeah.
can't even come close. That is not okay. That is not okay.
And every
know.
year it goes up.
Yeah,
And
when
it-
you have a military that is capable of destruction, so it's just like they said: if you have a hammer, every problem
Is a nail.
is a nail.
Yeah.
So it's I think there should be a change. When you look at what can we do, how can we get what we want. Look at that kind of military budget. Imagine you put some of them in South America. You not only will you solve the immigration problem, you will also have people living good there, and then you still get what you want. And
Yeah, but that's not going to provide jobs for Raytheon.
Or
and then
else?
we will
Northrop
not
Grumman?
need them.
yeah. Well,
They could do something else. They could manufacture for electric cars or something else. There's a lot of things they could do.
Retool their shop.
That's
Make better
not what.
phones,
Restructure
make
their-
better cars.
Well,
it's
yeah,
a
that's
beautiful
not what
idea,
the
Mom.
CEO is thinking. He's thinking about his boat.
yeah, he's in his boat. How profitable are those defense contracts? Huh?
Yeah, he's thinking about the $750 billion that they're going to get this year.
Yeah.
No,
That's
it's-
what they're thinking
No,
about.
there should be a change in the thinking.
Yeah,
I think we
mean,
could have had a change with Bernie.
Yeah,
and that would be a better world. It will make a better world. You're not afraid. You're not on alert all the time. So it solves the problem. And I going through history, you see the foreign policy from North Korea. I should say one thing I like about Trump, it's how he dealt with North Korea, because when he entered, everybody thought it's going to be all out war.
Mm.
But he kind of played it down after playing it tough. So he called him his friend, and nothing happened.
And Rocket Man.
Everybody was North Korea was asleep.
Yeah.
I think Joe Biden coming in, they tested a missile or something, you know. But then, given what happened in the 50s, if Korea wasn't divided into North and South, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Vietnam was, I think should be in the 70s. There was a North and South Vietnam,
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
and America pulling out. They came back, and we don't have the Vietnamese. What do I say? Vietnamese or Vietnam problem? We don't have any problem there.
Yeah, that's right.
Imagine if we have North and South Vietnam, there will be a problem. It should be part of what we should be worrying about now. So, changing the foreign policy will go a long way to solve a lot of problems.
Right now, we're doing a lot more business with Vietnam.
Right.
At one time, we were fighting,
Yes.
and now our companies are over there.
Exactly.
I think China's there
See?
too, aren't they? Not
Yeah,
Mhm.
China is starting to outsource.
to
Yeah.
Vietnam.
They're like, okay, we need to have a China for us.
It's actually cheaper for them to be
Yeah,
outsourced.
true.
Yeah.
That shows you what you can accomplish when you behave yourselves.
Well, that shows that it's not the people are not the problem.
No.
So, I mean, you can make it seem like, okay, these are the communist people and these are
No.
socialist people and they're the problem. That's not the problem here.
No, that's not the problem.
I mean, just look at China. I mean, we're doing so much business and they're the biggest communist government right now.
They are, and they're
Yeah.
gaining on
Yeah.
us.
Economically? Well, that should be another topic for another day. If China is truly a communist country.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's a quasi.
Quasi,
quasi.
Yeah,
capitalist
it is.
economy.
Just like us. I mean, we're not capitalist.
No, we're not.
We're quasi. We're capitalist, socialist, libertarian,
True. All
communist.
Socialist for the rich.
Yeah.
Capitalist for the.
Capitalist for the poor.
for the poor.
There you go. Definitely a mixed economy, huh?
Communist is for the defense contractors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, we're many things. We're complicated.
all right. So it's not. A lot of people think, well, we don't want to live under Venezuela. Well, you are sorta. Yeah.
You really are.
So
Yeah, it's hard to explain sometimes, but
It's hard.
yeah.
they just don't understand what they're living in under.
Yeah, I think it's.
I mean, Social Security has it. It's in the name.
Yes.
Says social,
Social. Yeah.
and people love it.
Yeah, they love it.
They love it. Take your government
Especially the
hands.
ones they get it
Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
every month. They get a check. They have no idea where that money comes from.
Mhm. True.
Oh, do they care? They don't care. It doesn't matter.
They don't care.
Well,
I
they
know
get-
people that they are working, and they are still saying, "I filed for my Social Security as soon as I was qualified."
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
That was the first thing they did.
And then the
So-
question will be, do you like socialism? No, I
No,
don't.
No, when you ask them
It's
who you
evil.
voted for, they'll say, "Oh, I voted for Republicans."
Mhm.
Every time. I believe in the free market.
I believe in the free market.
It's a funny thing to hear. But
I mean, it's a funny thing. The same people that hating the Democrats for talking about helping people are the same people they're happy when they get that stimulus check.
Oh, yeah. True.
It's already spent. When they
Yeah,
Look
they're
up.
like, "Oh, I got my check. Oh, I'm gonna get this done and get that done," and I'm like, you should send that money back.
It's kind of funny when Trump talked about the increasing the stimulus check from 600 to 2,000, and they were all happy.
Yeah,
Like, why are you happy? Is it because Trump said it?
Yeah.
If AOC said it,
Socialism.
the socialism.
Socialist. I'm not a socialist. They still take it, but
Yeah.
they would argue against it.
Yeah.
They would decry it as
And it's funny
socialist.
how
it'll be fake outrage.
fake
yeah,
outrage.
how you could engineer a set of people to be self-hating.
Yeah, it just takes time. It takes time and messaging, and consistent messaging over time.
Again, it comes down to messaging.
Well, I mean, look at the example of the Affordable Care Act, right?
Mhm.
When you ask people what they thought of it, they were very happy with the idea of it. Then if you call it Obamacare,
You're like,
nobody,
no,
nope, I don't want it.
Yeah,
I don't want it.
Obamacare, no. Mhm.
The same thing. Yeah, it's just, I love it's propaganda.
Yeah, true.
It's just, they're very good at propaganda, and it's hard to overcome that. especially when it's been drilled into you since
Yeah, true.
you're young. So I don't know what you do about that. That again is another conversation. Social structures that allow that to happen, but
Yeah. I think it's an easy thing to do if you understand humans. That's why we have, as I said earlier, that's why we have so many religions. You just have to, create whatever problem it is, or point at the problem.
yeah,
Become the savior.
yeah.
And
you
then you
look
have
at-
followers.
Yeah, I mean every culture's done it independently of each other,
Yes.
pretty really, because they understand that it works. This is
Mhm.
what works to keep people in line.
Yeah,
very
that's how you
effective.
keep people in line.
Absolutely, yeah.
True.
So did you watch inauguration yesterday?
Not really, because I had to go to work. I did not.
You did
I
not.
did not.
So you missed Jennifer Lopez.
Oh,
The
I did.
main- the
She
main
was
show.
there.
That's a shame.
I mean, that's the only thing I stayed up to watch.
Guys, we're
That's
getting off topic
interesting.
here. We're getting a little. I stayed awake to watch it, but anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard there was a good, a young poet there,
There was?
22. Yeah,
She was
that
poet- I
she
think-
stole the day.
Poet laureate. She's excellent. Very well.
I
Yeah.
mean,
That
I
guy-
fell asleep right away when Joe Biden started speaking.
The message was unity. That's the overall theme is unity. right?
Yeah.
I hope he does that, because he needs to. It's a point to worry when you have 74 million people voted for Trump. That's a significant amount.
Yeah, you have to wonder. I mean, how you meet people halfway who are so far from the center. Like how do you meet them? Where do you meet them? Right at 70%, they're just
Well, you can. I mean, it's just more you give them space, more they take it.
yeah.
I think
So-
it should involve massive re-education, to
Re-education camps. Huh?
We're
What are
another.
we talking about here?
We're going another rabbit hole there.
We're kidding, but yeah. I mean, I guess it starts with telling the truth. It's just,
yeah. But then I think the good thing is that the younger people are more liberal in their thinking
I think that's
than
right.
the older ones. So I think it's something you give it time and it will pass.
Yeah, I think they're more sophisticated in
Mhm.
many ways too. So, I hope you're right about that. I think that's probably the case as well.
Yeah, there will still be some that their parents will still teach them the
Yeah.
old ways, but then
They'll obey.
it's getting fewer. Just like I'll always say, in terms of American foreign policy, it's going to be hard for America to engage in an unprovoked war.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know, like let us just invade a country and take over the resources, because nobody will accept it here. Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's gone are the days when you just invade countries and then you have support of the people.
Yeah, I
So
think, the Iraq
new
War-
set of people now, and then with the new app, we have the Instagram, we have the TikTok.
it's immediate.
People are
right?
getting to meet each other. Like, oh, people are not really that horrible on the other side.
Yeah,
You see people from doing TikTok from maybe Afghanistan or from Egypt or
You're like,
from
oh.
Iran, and you're like, oh,
we're not that different, huh?
they're not that different from us.
But that's not what I've been
I mean,
told.
that's the case with anybody. I mean,
Mhm.
when you go
But-
to a different country,
People don't really know.
Yeah.
I used to see comments where people like, no, if they do that, we just bomb them to extinction.
Yeah.
How can you bomb people to extinction? You have mothers and fathers there. So when you begin to put a face on people on the other side,
Yeah.
so you have Facebook, you have people connecting with each other. And then I think I remember I saw a Lebanese dance, where they like hold hands and dance. I'm like, wow, this is wonderful.
That's the right direction.
Aside from what the news, feed us, and you see that you have human beings, you have fathers, you have mothers, you have children on the other side. And
it's hard to dehumanize people that way.
yes, so
That's good.
you can't
Well,
really dehumanize them and bomb them to take their resources. So
Yeah.
I know that for sure not going to happen anymore.
yeah, I
Excellent.
mean, because of the internet,
Yeah, the internet is
Yeah.
that's the good part of the
Yeah.
internet. Yes.
yeah. I mean, it used to be a time when there were people that probably are still people that do not leave the county.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They don't leave their city or county, and they don't go outside. They have no idea. They're living in this bubble,
hmm
and they want to keep it that way
Yeah. True.
because they
It's
don't see
familiar.
the other side. They
hmm
they say it's just there's some people out there, but who cares?
And then I don't know how this impacts this, but from what I think will help solve this problem in changing the face of how America see things and react to things is to encourage more Americans to travel the world.
I
When you
agree
travel,
100%.
you see different things, you see different perspective. You come back, you'll be a different person. You know, sitting down here doesn't really help that much. So travel the world, see things. So you come back, you will know that maybe we should have a universal healthcare. Maybe we shouldn't attack a country. And then these guys, when they travel, they're going to be in the House of, they're going to be in the Congress, they're going to be in the Senate. Some of them are going to be president.
Mhm. That's right.
So,
Excellent advice.
and I remember I don't know if you saw the video when you have they zoom out from the Earth to our solar system, and then
Pale
they
blue
zoom out
dot?
from our solar system to the galaxy. They keep zooming out.
Is it Carl Sagan?
No, it's
No?
like a video where they start from Earth and zoom out to see the Earth in comparison with the other planets.
It sounds like the pale blue dot.
Yeah, I think the point is to show you how
How
small we
insignificant,
are.
yeah. People fighting over resources in this tiny.
So
pale blue.
I'm thinking before you could become president, they should take you to space.
You see,
Yeah.
get a perspective on it.
Yeah, you see the perspective like,
What
are we fighting for?
What in the world? This tiny blue dot.
No, we're
in
just tiny, out there.
that should be in the video.
I mean, I think to become president, I think military service should be required
It used to.
Why do
Yeah.
you think that?
because that gives you perspective of wars.
Oh, awesome.
So they do not. I mean, if you look at it, the people that have, actually advocated for wars are the ones that have never went to wars.
True. Very true.
Those are the
Ted Cruz.
ones that are really hawks. They are the
Tough guys.
yeah.
hmm
They're called the
That's true.
what are they called? Some sort of a hawks. What are they?
Warhawks? I mean, I don't know.
Warhawks.
Yeah, but actually they are chicken
Chicken
hawks.
hawks. Oh, those.
Chicken
Are,
hawks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You
I mean, even though Rumsfeld was in military, but Dick Cheney, George
George
Bush,
Yeah,
these
yeah.
people, skip. Donald Trump,
Mhm.
Obama, Clinton.
Obama. I mean, they never served. They have no idea. So what is it like to be in a war?
the real
and-
cost of
Sure.
war.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just don't know.
What about this guy? What's his name? John Bolton. Did he serve?
No.
I think so.
He actually he
Oh.
said during Vietnam he said, I don't want to go die in those rice paddies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I wonder why he's always up for war.
Doesn't cost him anything.
Yeah. I mean he's not gonna go fight or his kids.
Or his kids, yeah.
Yeah.
It's always,
If somebody
else.
else's kid is gonna go,
Oh yeah, that's true.
it's easy.
If you have your kid going, you
Yeah.
may not want to, except it's for just cause.
So you might say maybe, I don't know, you mandate military service then.
Yeah.
Everyone's kid has to go. You're less likely to start a war somewhere.
And they go like, my kid is only 5 years old.
Get him in. Get him suited up. Let's go.
get him out there.
That's right. No one's too young. You're a patriot. Yeah, so. What do you think?
I mean, last 20 years it's been like that because, I mean, the people that have come in power, they have no idea what it's like to be in wars.
Yeah.
I mean, what? Ted Cruz wanted to irradiate the Middle East. Remember that?
Yeah.
Make it glow.
Whoa,
That's what he
wow.
said. I want to make it glow. Wow.
Okay, he's Ted Cruz.
Yeah, it's Ted
All right.
Cruz. Yeah. So you got to speak in
He's
hyperbole.
a special person.
He's a special person.
He's so
I mean,
special.
Ann Coulter said we should invade those countries, kill their people, and, whoever's left, convert them to Christianity.
Oh, you see, that's
That's
not
extreme.
going to happen anymore. You
Yeah.
know, that's it. No, it's not going to happen anymore. Nobody's going to support that. It's going to be a big problem here when you just arbitrarily invade a country.
Well, it's only going to be a problem if they show body bags.
They will. Like you said, Instagram,
It will
Facebook, it'll be everywhere.
yeah.
You
War
have to,
crimes.
then that's when you have to shut down the internet in the
Yeah,
United
that's right.
States.
That's
Yeah.
right. Iran did it, right? During the Arab Spring, shut everything down.
Yeah, you have to do that, which is pretty much
Yeah.
difficult to do.
I mean, even in this war, we didn't show body bags. I mean, didn't they pass a law that they cannot show coffins on TV?
They didn't have social media in the same way, but now you have social media.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
easy
there's
access.
social media.
Yeah.
Of course, it might be up there for like a few seconds and before they take it down, but it definitely.
But then
will
everyone has
appear
it,
there.
right? Like
Yeah.
those tweets that always
Yeah,
get
they will
taken
have it.
up.
Mhm.
Everyone copies them. Yeah, let the
Yeah,
world know.
there will be someone that will just create an account just to upload,
Yeah,
and then they take the account down. But then a lot of people have
Just-
it,
it'll multiply.
and then they distribute it via other channels like WhatsApp,
Yeah,
Telegram.
yeah. Telegram's a good one, right?
Yeah, so
The Nazi hotbed.
Go back to Telegraph.
Yeah. Oh,
there's actually an app called Telegram.
yeah, Telegram for sure. He's a Telegraph, the old.
Telegraph, yeah,
Yeah, the old
It's a long
school.
time.
Yeah, Telegram is used by a lot of Nazis
Mm.
for communication. Sure, a lot of QAnon people are on there as well.
Oh,
Very upset, by the way. And I said, "What happened to the plan? Why is Donald Trump not president anymore? You told us. You told us on January 20th." Oh well. Yeah. he's
Are they
really-
still doing that?
They are. They still
Mhm.
believe that he's going to find a way back in. He's
oh
playing
yeah,
fifth dimensional
to-
chess.
2024.
It's insane.
I think he had a chance before January 6th. And I think he lost it after that.
I mean, you saw corporations pulling their financing of.
Oh yeah,
candidates.
yeah. I think
a big deal.
his chances are slim now.
Yeah.
If he would have just went away,
Mm-hmm.
quietly, he probably had a pretty good hold on Republican Party.
Yeah, before January 6th.
Yeah.
Yes, he had that hold.
And after that, when Republicans saw that, oh, no, we cannot let go of our lattes. We need our
We need
lattes.
Yeah. we need them. So
I cannot have my Starbucks go away.
I think very little of our Republican colleagues.
Well,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
So yeah, but if he's impeached, right, or if he's accused of a federal crime, he can't run anyway. So I'm sorry, if he's convicted of impeachment or
Yeah, that-
during the trial.
If it's
Yeah.
they try out.
So we'll see what happens with that. But
Let's see what happens.
well, we're about 3%, AJ. What do you think?
I think we're gonna have to conclude our conversation. So
Great talk, Mom. Appreciate
Thank
having
you so
here.
much.
lot of fun.
I
We learned a
enjoyed
lot.
being here.
thanks for coming, and